Today on the channel, we've got a special one. It's the 2-year anniversary of weekly purchases.
Spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a very special weekly purchases this week, as this is the 2-year anniversary of weekly purchases. Yes, it has been 2 years. We have not missed a week. Every single Saturday for the last 2 years, we've had a brand new episode of weekly purchases. And really, the start of the channel was with weekly purchases, as I did have a collection tour about a month before, but I decided later on, hey, why don't I start a channel? And weekly purchases is where we got off and running here on the channel. So 2 years, can you believe it? I know a lot of you guys have been with me since the beginning. I know a lot of people got in midway. A lot of people are new to the channel, so I appreciate everybody being involved with the channel, commenting, liking, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff everybody does out there. Just really fun the last 2 years, and a lot of surprises over the last 2 years, a lot of cool surprises to come, and hopefully the next 2 years and maybe beyond. We'll see how it goes. That's what we always say, but a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. Fingers crossed, we'll tell more details about that very soon. But we're going to kick off weekly purchases the normal way here. So weekly purchases, of course, the time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via Amazon, DHL, FedEx, UPS, the post office, the usual suspects. But of course, that old outlaw Waylon Jennings, who had a cameo on the channel this week, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. And then, of course, at the top of the episode of Weekly Purchases, we recap all the stuff that was on the channel this week, as we had another very busy channel week out there. And then, of course, Patreon, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. A ton of videos on Patreon, so really cooking with the content as of late, as you guys are probably well aware of. But this week on the channel, our weekly Jack's Classic Superstars deep dive. We're in the Deluxe Classic exclusives now. We took a look at the Pro Figures exclusive Shawn Michaels and the Hall of Fame ringside collectible exclusive Ric Flair. Very, very cool on that one. We also took a look at Princess Leia Bib Fortuna New Black Series, a rare Star Wars. Remember 2021? We unboxed a Star Wars figure every single day. They're few and far between right now. Their distribution is the worst of any line. There it is. I said it. But Black Series, we've got a few in this week, and maybe a few more next week. We'll see what happens. We opened up Robin Raphael on our unofficial Turtle Tuesday from the DC Direct line, the Batman Turtle crossover movie figures. Probably the worst set so far. We still got, I think, 2 more sets to go, so stay tuned for those on the channel. We unboxed, fresh off a haulathon, Target exclusive Bebop Rocksteady, Super Bebop, Mighty Rocksteady cartoon exclusive figures. An interesting wear there. We did the Wolfman, NECA Wolfman, and my dad guessed it on the channel once again as he's unboxing the Universal Monsters. I've talked him into it. He's unboxing the Universal Monsters with me. If you're a Patreon member, Frankenstein unboxing with my dad is up there. And we also have a blind bag unboxing with my dad. And also we'll have a Q&A. I asked for comments. I said, anybody have questions for my dad? He's here. We can go through some questions that relate to both of us or him. Did 2 Q&A videos with my dad. Those will be going up on Patreon very soon. So look into Patreon if you want to see those. They'll eventually be on the regular YouTube channel when we can fit those in. We unboxed the 20th anniversary Marvel Legend Tony Stark Iron Man or Paul Kersey Death Wish. Yes, I finally got my Death Wish figure. Built this bad boy. That was what I was most excited about, that unboxing. But I got old Paul Kersey here by my side at my desk, protecting the channel here, protecting us all. So we did that this week. We unboxed the WWE Superstars lineup, the Walmart exclusive Bray Wyatt, Hulk Hogan, NWO Hulk Hogan. Mixed bag on those a little bit, as I talked about a little deeper in that video, so check that one out. Funko Marvel Legends Zombies, that's one of those ones that's been on Patreon for about a month, or I guess 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, but I filmed it probably 2 months ago. Finally unleashed that one, the Marvel Legends Zombies. We unboxed a werewolf third-party figure of a werewolf. We showed that last week. It was an interesting one. Highest to highs, lowest to lows to kind of middle of the road is where that evened out. But check out that werewolf. You guys know I'm a sucker for a hairy bipedal creature. You've learned that over the last 2 years. And that werewolf was, it was all right. It was middle of the road. Check it out for yourself. See what you think. You might want one of those. We did a fun one I've been threatening for a while, and the first installment, launched, I think, last Sunday. It was where my wife, Angie, oh, what a saint she is. As you guys have seen on the channel, she is an absolute saint. She sat down with me and we went through that entire Jack's Classic Superstars haul that I picked up a few weeks ago. Now, this is going to be a video series. Now, the first 2 episodes are up on Patreon. The third will probably go up today. We'll get to them on the regular YouTube as well, but a lot of videos with my wife and I, talking, discussing a lot about our relationship, a lot about our hunts through Panera, the great Panera pizza, flatbread pizza of 2005, let's call it. So we talk a lot about that. We talk a lot of Jack's Classic Superstars, our time hunting these figures back in the day, pre-kids, pre a lot of responsibilities of the world, and a lot of fun along the way. So there's a video series on that. You'll want to see all those. That was pretty fun. Haulathon continued. We unboxed that Toxicity glow-in-the-dark Muckman from Target. Actually better than expected. Don't sleep on that one, and I think I may prefer that one over the other one. I don't know. But very, very cool. And then we did a top 5 Scott haul this week. I felt uneasy about doing that, but I asked the Patreon members, what do you guys think? Is it too soon? I don't want to feel like I'm cashing in on him, but eventually we knew we were going to get to a top 5 Scott haul. We did Razor Ramon like 3 months ago, and I said, hey, one day we're going to do Scott haul top 5. Figured it was a fitting tribute, so that's what we did. Top 5 Scott haul. Check that video out if you are so inclined. And then the final video of the week, we did our weekly figure hunt, and this time I had a special guest. I had an old outlaw with me. I was up in his area dropping off that Frankenstein Raphael, and old Waylon Jennings, visited me, and we toured some stores together. So check that out in the weekly fig hunt. A lot of questions about that Waylon Jennings, and you can answer some of them there. You'll see him in the video. So Waylon is there, always on the hunt, much like myself. So a lot going on the channel, a lot going on every single week. But one thing I want to announce this week too is weekly purchases this week is brought to you by Zavvi. Yes, Zavvi. If you've been around the figure game, you guys know all the different stores out there. There's the Entertainment Earth, there's the Big Bad Toy stores. Of course, there's the Walmarts, Targets, all that kind of stuff. But there's also Zavvi, and a lot of you guys have used them. I've used them in the past as well. But they wanted to sponsor the channel, and hey, more than appreciated. So we do have a coupon code. Use Kyle-R217. Link will be in the description below as well. That will get you, I believe, 10% off your purchase there. So Zavvi, they got everything you want under the sun, but tons of clothing and everything else. And they actually have a huge sale this weekend. 40% off all clothing, 30% off all Funkos, 20% off all Hasbro helmets. And I might have just recently ordered a Hasbro helmet. Should come here hopefully in the next week or two. So you might be surprised when you see what I ordered, but I did order a helmet from Zavvi. But great partner of the channel here. Definitely support them out. Check them out. Fish around the website. See what's going on. But I want to thank Zavvi for sponsoring weekly purchases. Can you believe such a thing? There you go. What a time to be alive. And then we're going to talk Patreon. 2 weeks into the Patreon, it's been a lot of fun. Posting early videos, posting exclusive pizza reviews from the old Iowa Pizza King himself. We got pictures of Lemmy. Tons of early videos, bonus videos, and giveaways, as you guys know. We got 40 plus people on the Patreon. That's blown away my expectations, so I appreciate each and every one of you guys that are involved. This weekend I will be doing a bonus Q&A video just for Patreon. That's where you can ask me anything. You need help with something. You want a resume idea. You want some job ideas. Hey, whatever it takes. I don't care. I'll answer. But figure questions, anything you want to know. We're doing a Patreon exclusive Q&A every single month. We're also doing the giveaways. So you got about a week left to get in. April 1st is just around the corner. But if you want to be a part of March's giveaway, the top tier selected people, the people that are in the Patreon top tier, they get to choose any 2 of the figures here. And then whatever's left after those 2 are chosen, all other tiers for the first month of the Patreon, they get to choose 1 figure. Your call. That's $1.99, $5 tier, whatever you want to do. You get to choose one of those figures that's left. And every month we're going to do giveaways. And we do giveaways here as well. And we got to do a giveaway this month. This week. What am I saying? Month. This week, it is the 2-year anniversary after all. Got a new hot figure right off the presses. We'll talk about that in the back half of weekly purchases. But hopefully you guys will try to get on that giveaway as well. But the Patreon videos, I got about 20 early videos on Patreon that'll eventually hit your regular YouTube. I mean, eventually. I don't know when, but tons and tons of early content, bonus content. And then the thing that a lot of people have been taking advantage of this week is all members get first dibs on the Jack's Classic Superstars I'm selling. You guys know I bought that huge collection. I needed a lot of them, but I didn't need all of them. So I got a few hundred figures for sale from Jack's Classic, well below eBay prices. Going to sell them to the Patreon members first before we go to other avenues. So a lot to jump in on the Patreon. A lot of good way to support the channel, of course, if you're into this after 2 years. Hopefully you are. But it's a lot of fun on the Patreon, so I wanted to plug that. I'm not going to plug it real hard every single week. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you just want our money and everything else. I get it. I know how that goes. But I can tell you that everything I make in YouTube funds or whatever, guess what? It goes all back into the channel. I don't pack this away. Here's my retirement savings. No, it's Kyle's got to get that new figure to review. That's what it's about. But a lot of fun on the Patreon, a lot of fun on the channel, and I hope you guys are enjoying everything the last 2 years. And there's a lot more to come. So there it is. There's that. Now we got to get into the news. We got to dig into a lot of news this week. Some interesting stuff. And we're going to start with wrestling. We're going to start with the wrestling news. WWE Elite 94 was shown. We already knew who was coming, but we saw some first-time images. We saw Edge in his white gear. White gear is always special. It's always something different. Always reminds me of a young Tito Santana in Strikeforce back in the day. But white gear Edge with the nice coat. Hopefully it has the movements in the coat like we saw with that upcoming Seth Rollins figure. But another Edge. Edge is a hot seller, and it's a later day Edge, of course, but it is white geared Edge. We also saw Stephanie McMahon, a little Ruthless Aggression era throwback. I don't know about that long finger on her, though. She looks like E.T. It's very strange. Hopefully that looks better in person. But we did see Stephanie coming. We also saw in pictures, unless you were there down in like Texas, but we did see the new Ruthless Aggression line. You guys know I'm a sucker for the Ruthless Aggression era. Jax, I got all of them. We tracked them down over the last 2 years on the channel. But they got the throwback figures with Batista, HBK, and Lesnar. Those actually went up for pre-order at Walmart on Friday, supposedly shipping in August. We'll see what happens. WrestleMania weekend being next weekend, I think we will see Series 2. I think we'll see the pictures of the figures for Series 2, but we know that's Rey Mysterio, that's Booker T, and that's Triple H. I gotta think next week we will see those guys in figure form, plus a ton of more reveals. Have to think next weekend we'll probably have a special Mattel reveals video, because there's gonna be a lot of reveals on WrestleMania weekend, so stay tuned for that as well. But a lot of cool stuff coming. We also saw the WWE Superstars Walmart exclusive line Series 2, the in-hand product shots of HBK, Hall and Nash. Very fitting for that Hall coming out right now. It just seems crazy. I think that'll be a pretty popular one. Those did go up for pre-order on Thursday on Walmart as well, but no sign of the Ultimate Warrior one yet. Hopefully that shows up soon. And then we also got a little sneak peek, which must be Series 3. Papa Shango coming to this line. So that's interesting. I'm not sure how this line will do. I hope it hits the stores. That's one frustrating thing. I haven't seen it on any store pegs. Haven't even seen a peg for it yet. We'll see. Distribution is tough. These Walmart exclusives, Target exclusives. I get it. I hear all the comments all the time. We'll see where all that ends up going. So I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed for everything. Cella Toys. Of course, we talk Cella Toys every single week on the channel, it seems like. Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 2 Retro, the yellow trunks. Andre's got a weird deal where he can make deals with Cella, Super 7, Mattel. And it's interesting that yellow gear is, we got a Super 7 coming out sometime this year of that one. And now we're going to have a retro style. So very interesting. And then to not be beat, of course, Zombie Sailor put out pictures of his Andre the Giant, much later day Andre the Giant, very end of his WWF run back in the day. So pick your poison on Andre. There's a lot of Andre completists. I'll definitely be picking up both of those. They both look good in their own way. We'll see where that goes. But Cella and Zombie, the Retro Wars, oh, they're running hard, they're running fast. They're running free. And speaking of retros, I have to think WrestleMania weekend, we're going to get the announcement of the Series 2 Mattel retros, I would imagine. So stay tuned for that as well. So a lot going on there. We also saw this week Jean Grey from Marvel Legends, of course. Well, wait, let me step that back a little bit. We got one more wrestling thing this week. We've got FTC, and we don't talk a lot of FTC because they are so hit and miss, and I'm just not spending that much money on figures that are misses most of the time, unfortunately. There's a few good ones. That Demon one I recommend. I don't mind the Blue Meanie, the New Jack, Shane Douglas. There's a few good ones, but there's some really bad ones. But FTC is releasing 2 Jim Cornette figures, a bloody Jim Cornette, and then a commentary Jim Cornette. So if you want more Jim Cornette action, I do have the old school Jim Cornette FTC. Quality control on that one is not very good, but I needed it to put with my loose Midnight Express figures. So that's what I did, but we'll see. Maybe these will be a little bit better quality, who knows. But if you're in the Jim Cornette market, look those up at FTC. He's a big manager, but it's all right. It's all right. It's one of the better ones, we'll say. So there you go. All right, now moving into a few other things. Marvel Legends this week. We know the cell shading animated Fox, of course, X-Men series figures. We know about Mr. Sinister, Wolverine, Jubilee. A lot of those coming. Well, this week we got the announcement of Jean Grey coming. She is up for sale on Hasbro Pulse if you were interested. A lot of mixed messaging. A lot of people aren't sure about that head sculpt. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know if those heads are good. Hopefully they look better in person. But you can complete your animated X-Men team. I know that's a lot of people's wheelhouse. I could see a lot of collectors just collecting those, and that is it. And I get it, because that was an amazing animated series back in the day. I was all in for it every single Saturday morning. So we did get some of that. But the big news for me this week, the one I'm very excited about, and I got a little bit of a nitpick here, and you guys know I love Super 7. I don't like the pre-order business. That's why I always say go to Big Bad Toy Store. You know, I'm a broken record, but I don't like to pay till it ships, so that's why I go there. But we got Ultimate G.I. Joe Series 3 up for pre-order this week. Man, sign me up. But the one thing I don't like about this is we have not had Series 1 yet. I feel like you're already to Series 3 pre-orders. We need to have something in hand before we get that deep into the line. But the nice thing with Big Bad Toy Store, if Series 1 comes, you don't like it, you can cancel Series 2, you can cancel Series 3. So that is one caveat. But if you order with Super 7, guess what? They're having your money this whole time. You haven't had product yet, and you're already having to pre-order Series 3. I just don't like that part about it. But that being said, I have very, very high hopes for these figures for the whole line. This is like most people out there. I think most people came into G.I. Joe via the cartoon series. Some did comics, I get it. But cartoon series or action figures, well, this is what I've always wanted. Cartoon accurate G.I. Joe characters. The figures were great, but they weren't always 100% accurate. That's what these are. And they got little Easter egg things and stuff like that. And I'm here all day for it. I just hope they do not disappoint, because I am very excited. This is one of the most exciting lines that could ever be released for Kyle. This is Kyle's childhood wrapped up in figure form. Give it to me tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. But this week we got an announcement. We got Doc, and Doc, like I was talking Easter eggs, he comes with a comic book. We'd see him having a comic book in the TV episodes back in the day. So very cool stuff like that. But we got Doc. That's a heavy hitter. One that hasn't came into the classified lines, I'm a little bit surprised, but we're getting Doc. Scarlet, some might say the most popular G.I. Joe female, so we're getting Scarlet in here. We're getting Storm Shadow. Everybody loves a ninja, unless you don't. But we got Storm Shadow coming. That's going to excite a lot of people. And then I like what they're doing here is they're giving us one army builder. Don't give us two army builders in a set, but we're getting a Cobra officer, and this is a true army builder. It has different hands, different head with different color faces. One's a little more dark skinned, one's a little lighter skinned, and different faces going on. So really you need to buy two of these to get the full effect, and I'm definitely buying 2 or 3 of all these army builders. So we are getting that. They are up for pre-order. Big Bad Toy Store, anywhere you buy your toys. Online. Of course, Zavvi will have them as well, so head over to Zavvi. Use that code. Once they're up there, you can save, I think, 10% on those, so not a bad deal there as well. But the G.I. Joe Ultimates, man, I'm all in. I am so excited. I can't wait for Series 1. Hopefully it comes on time, man. I need them. I need them bad, and I just absolutely cannot wait for those. You guys know I'm a G.I. Joe guy through and through. So that's it. Kind of a slow news week this week. Next week, like I said, we're going to be really busy with WrestleMania weekend. But now it's time to talk Album of the Week, and this is another one. This is a big one, and it couldn't have came at a better time than the 2-year anniversary of the channel. Album of the Week this week is my favorite current, you know, they're about 10 years old at this point, but I always think of them current, newer band, but definitely my favorite band going right now that's young and hungry and out there about ready to hit the road later on this year. Who am I talking about? Night Demon. I wear my Night Demon love on my sleeves. I've been to seeing them since they started first hitting the Midwest. I've never missed a show in the Midwest. I follow them around all the time. But this week, as of yesterday, their brand new album, Year of the Demon from Night Demon came out, and it's really cool. It's all their singles put together into an album. They do have a new album coming at the back half of this year. But man, you guys know I love heavy metal. Check out Night Demon. If you've never heard Night Demon, man, you're in for a treat this weekend. Check that album out. I mean, they got Rancid on there and singing along. A lot of guest spots. If you love new wave British heavy metal, if you love old school metal, if you love traditional heavy metal, man, Night Demon's for you. Great group of guys as well. Also, their drummer, Dusty, big Ultimate Warrior fan. You got to tell him all about the Ultimate Warrior. But hopefully more Night Demon stuff in the future. Stay tuned for that. Wink, wink. But Night Demon, absolutely love them. Got to get this new album. So I recommend strongly each and every one of you guys go out and get this new Night Demon album. You know, Kyle said so. So there you go. So there it is. A lot going on in the 2-year anniversary. Now we got to get to the weekly purchases, and we'll talk about this week's giveaway in the weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the 2-year anniversary of weekly purchases with what we picked up this week. So some interesting stuff. Of course, the Target haulathon going strong or not so strong, because my area, only 2 of my 8 Targets have actually put haulathon items out, where some areas have had them for 2+ weeks at this point. But luckily enough, I did find one of the stores that had them. Take some friends out there. Had a friend out there send me a message saying, hey, they're up. I sprinted the 20 minutes over to that store. Luckily, I got there, got to pick what I needed. So that's exactly what I did. And one of the things I needed was comic book edition Fugitoid for Mirage Ninja Turtles. Now, not sure if I'm going down the cartoon, or I'm definitely down the cartoon, but the comic Ninja Turtle stuff, I'm not sure. But Fugitoid's different. It's something we haven't gotten yet. New shiny toy, I can't say no, but Fugitoid I ended up picking up this week. Target haulathon, hopefully you found that as well. So he did come there. Thanks to Zavvi, like I said, Zavvi, they did send along the brand new Falcon. I was on the fence on this one, as we did get a Falcon figure about a year ago in the Mr. Fix-It Build-A-Figure wave. We're going to do some comparison to see, is this needed for your collection if you already have the other one, or is this the better one? We'll find out together, but I did get Falcon through the mail this week. So there's old Falcon, running hard, running fast, running free. How about a little Lucy Wrestling? This really goes back to the early days of weekly purchases, where every single week I was trying to work through my complete Ruthless Aggression set. Well, we did that on the channel, as you guys remember, but we used to have a ton of Lucy. Here's the Lucy portion of weekly purchases. Don't have that too much anymore, but occasionally, and here's one of those, we got old Big Sexy himself. We've got Kevin Nash from the TNA Legends of the Ring line. We're going to do a video on that somewhere after the Classic Superstars. It's a natural changeover from Classic Superstars to the Legends of the Ring line, and I needed a loose one of these. I'm trying to be a double up club in that one. I think I'm just needing a loose Hulk Hogan, and I'll have all of them mint on card and loose, but I needed this Kevin Nash, and I found it at a deal on eBay. Had to pick it up. You guys know how that goes. And then I just, for some reason, I picked up this basic Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. As you know, every once in a while you get a hankering for a Ricky Steamboat. That's what happened to me this week. So I picked up this basic Ricky Steamboat. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I can make this basic elite. We'll see. But I picked up Ricky the Dragon Steamboat this week. And then discussing haulathon, we talked about it. I unboxed these guys right away. I couldn't wait. Super Bebop, Mighty Rocksteady, unboxed those on the channel this week. Check out that video, but pretty cool. Not as good as the classic Bebop and Rocksteady, but something different. Deep cut. I love and appreciate a deep cut. That's exactly what that is. How about we get to a little giveaway time? Let's do a little giveaway action right now. And now, to be able to enter this giveaway, you of course have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me move this out of the way here. There we go. And, well, first, let's do the giveaway. Let's show what the giveaway is before I tell you what to do. But this week, we're giving it away, and of course, I did unbox this one. I had to buy 2 of them, part of the Double Up Club on these LJN style, but it is the Walmart exclusive Cody Rhodes figure. This is open to anybody in the world. We're going to give this figure away. There, you can see up top, there's a little bit of a crease going on there, but hey, it's free, including shipping, so you can't complain too much. But I'm going to give this Cody Rhodes away as a thank you for 2 years here on the channel. So all you got to do, it's very simple. Follow me on Twitter, SirPaul64, Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And of course, be subscribed to this YouTube channel. And then in the comments down below in YouTube, all you got to do is write your handles down there. Write down your Twitter handle and your Instagram handle. If you don't have both of them or you only got one or the other, put whatever you have, but you got to put it in the comments down here in weekly purchases. It always helps you if you subscribe to the channels, subscribe to the social medias, retweet the tweets, all that kind of fun stuff always helps. But all you got to do, put the handles that you have for Twitter and Instagram in the YouTube comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to all 3 of them. So there you go. Without further ado, that's all you have to do. And then next week on Weekly Purchases, I will announce the winner of this giveaway. And if you're interested in more giveaways, like I said, sign up to the Patreon, doing giveaways on there this month as well. But Cody Rhodes could be yours if you follow the instructions. Put your handles, your social media handles, in the comments in this YouTube video. That's all you got to do. And then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. But Cody Rhodes through the door this week as well. And then I picked up another Sting because I'm seeing Stings everywhere, and you never know when you might need another Sting. So I picked this one up, a minty one. I guess I'll save this for a rainy day, or maybe I'll put Sting in my corporate office. I have an office in my house, but I have a corporate office I go to. Got an Ultimate Warrior collection there. maybe Sting will start joining the fun and joining the party on my shelf at my office. So we'll see. But Sting through the door. And then, of course, like a lot of people this week, I did get my AEW shop exclusive Chris Jericho. Had a beautiful, beautiful signee of the YouTube, a beautiful member of the YouTube, I should say. Old Drew last week sent me one of these. Very nice him. So now I'm thinking about opening this one. We'll see. Playing a little long game. I think I might open one and have one, of course, mint on card. So we got 2 Jerichos in the collection now. Very cool. Stay tuned. There's going to be a Moxley, one of those, very soon. I don't know when exactly. And a Kenny Omega. Hopefully they spread those out a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But got those through the door. And then we talked a little Target earlier with the haulathon. Well, Target this week, Masters of the Universe Origins, got some figures that went up for sale and shipped them right out. So I was very happy about that. Oh, as I drop them and throw them around, you guys know how that goes. I got Anti-Eternia He-Man. Very excited for this He-Man. Very, very cool. And then Clawful, another cool one, a childhood favorite of mine. So these are the ones I'm going to open right here. And then, of course, you guys know I'm double up club on those Masters Universe Origins. Already put them in my protectors. Got 2 right here. That being said, man, Target let me down as I ordered 2 of these, of course. But this one's minty Clawful. The other one's got a little ding on it, but I'm going to open it, so that's fine. But unfortunately, both of my Anti-Eternia He-Man figures have a line through it. So obviously he's at the top or the bottom of a box. The employee, get the box cutter out, sliced it. Man, you employees out there, what are you doing? Slicing way too hard. They went all the way through the package on this one, and then they put a nice little line on this one. So honestly, I gotta be on the lookout for another unpunched version of this. You guys know I can't live with this razor blade cut right here, but it's a temporary holder for right now. But man, come on, ease up with that knife. You're not cutting through bone. You're just cutting a piece of tape. What are we doing there? I remember as a kid when I used to work in a grocery store and I was in the frozen food, I remember cutting packages of boxes open, of course. I remember the bagged vegetables. Every once in a while you get a little too deep with that box cutter and it would just be peas for days all over the floor. You'd say, oh, what are we doing? And that was where What Are We Doing originated. And buy the shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. Yeah, what are we doing? It's the $1 million question. It's the $1 million question. What are we doing? I ask it to myself every day at work, and now I ask it when I'm out on the figure hunt, and maybe you guys do as well. What are we doing? What are we doing, Target? That is officially the What Are We Doing of the week. So there's that. The hits keep on coming. Here's a future giveaway on the Patreon. You got to get a deal out there. I say it all the time, and this is no different. $7 for Big E on his ATV. Hopefully Big E gets well. Some neck issues. Oof, that's rough. Could have been a lot worse. But $7 for Big E, man, I'll take that all day. So we'll do this as a giveaway in the future on the Patreon. So we got that going right there. Then we turn our attention. We talked about Super 7 Ultimates earlier. Well, it was a Super 7 Ultimates type week. As you guys saw last week on the channel, I unboxed some Conan Ultimate figures. Not Conan O'Brien. We didn't bust out Pimp Bot. We didn't bust out Andy Richter. We didn't do any of that kind of stuff. But we did go old school Super 7 Conan figures with Thulsa Doom, Pit Fighter Conan, and man, I got itchy. I got real itchy. I love Conan from being a kid, of course. Something about Conan, He-Man, that whole thing. And I said, you know what? Why didn't I get in on this? I know some of the earlier figures that we're going to talk about weren't favorites, and we'll unbox these on the channel. We'll get my opinion, but I really did enjoy Thulsa Doom. I enjoyed Pit Fighter Conan. So we'll see what I think here about some of these other ones. So we got Rexor. And we're going to save them. We're going to put them in the cardboard here. We'll save the full reveal for the actual review. But we got one of Thulsa Doom's henchmen, Rexor. I got him through the door this week. Oh, Pit Fighter Conan. There he is. I guess Warpaint Conan is one we unboxed last week. But we got Pit Fighter Conan right here. And then, of course, regular plain Jane Conan the Barbarian right there. So we got them. And then we got Thulsa Doom, of course. The Demigod Serpent. Thulsa Doom, got him through the door as well. The first version that goes with Rexor. Thaliog, I believe, is the other guy. That's the only one I'm missing from the complete Ultimates. And, of course, that's the hardest one to find. So, hopefully, I can track him down. Need him for the collection. You know how that goes. Then I also got this Conan the Barbarian, the regular comic edition. So, I figured, you know what? He'll go good with my He-Man figures. So I got that Conan. And then I also got, because that thing took like 15 months where it was supposed to be a year, they gave you a gift said to the death. And it comes with the bloody weapons as a thank you for your patience. So I did get that as well. So a lot of Ultimates, a lot of Conan Ultimates. We'll spruce those in throughout the channel over the next couple of months. I'm sure they'll be all on Patreon very early, but I won't overload a week with all Conan reviews, but I might have them all in the Patreon in the next week and a half or so. So if you're inclined on that, but there's a lot of stuff right here. Let's dig in. Let's go to round 2 of weekly purchases. All right, round 2 of weekly purchases begins, and this was a very busy week, but you guys know how it goes. You got haulathon, you got pre-orders, you got things that you find, you got Super 7 Ultimates that steal your heart and never let go, and then you got to get a deal sometimes, and that's exactly what happened. But first, another pre-order that came through, a little surprising, is I didn't think this was coming till summer, but here it is, old DC McFarlane multiverse, not multi-universe, from the DC Rebirth, Clayface, one of Batman's most iconic villains, at least for me. Clayface, you guys know I'm a sucker for a big figure, especially one that looks like he just climbed out of the sewer is how he looks a little bit. We'll talk about it. Can't wait to get this big figure unboxed, so we'll expect this one on the YouTube channel very, very soon. But the DC Clayface through the door this week. Very, very cool figure right there. And then I'm a sucker. You guys know I'm a sucker for a deal. And you guys have seen the last month or so in my figure hunts. I always look at them and say, I really want this. I really want this. But I can't pull the trigger. But I can pull the trigger when Target has a sale this week. And today is Saturday if you're watching this live. The day it ends tonight. So you can get this deal online. You can go to your store and get this if you are so inclined. So there you go. But it was buy any 2 McFarlane figures, get one free. And I should say McFarlane DC figures. Buy 2, get one free. So that's exactly what I did this week. And I ended up building the horse. You got to build a horse. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. Mr. Ed told me that on Nick at Night when I was a very little kid. And I've always wanted a horse. And I said, well, here it is. I'm buying this for the horse, basically. But we got Robin, of course, with the big horse pieces going on here. Then you got Superman right here. The Dark Knight Returns wave is what this is, of course. Now, I read The Dark Knight Returns when I was like 9 years old. It was like 4 or 5 years at that point. But a very, very cool Batman story. So I was always a little itchy for these. But getting them on deal, getting some free figures, that put me over the edge. So I did do that. The Batman looks very, very cool. Very cool Batman figure. And then, finally, the Joker. We got Joker in his nice white suit. Look at him there. And we got the horse head with him. So, we're going to build the horse. We'll have to figure out how to do that on the channel. I might break this into 2 videos. We'll see what happens. But we got some DC figures this week. Old McFarlane, he's just tearing it up out there. I'm picking up a few more things, it seems like, as of late. So, good on him. Good on him. We talked haulathon earlier. Here was one of the big ones from haulathon. Ninja Turtles 4-pack, a little bit of a re-release with a few new accessories, a few new heads and stuff. This set isn't for everybody, I understand that, especially if you have the Turtles before, but you guys know I'm working on a huge display tour, and I'm working on my Turtle display. I got my backdrops in, I'm ready to go, and for as many display shelves as I have in this display, I needed a few different Turtle sets. So I got the disguise ones, I got the 2 original 2-pack sets, and then this one. So I got 4 different sets of Turtles, but I'm going to need them for the different displays. So I needed this one. That's how I justified it to myself, at least, and that's what you got to do. You got to justify it to yourself every once in a while. Display tour coming. I know a lot of people ask me about that all the time. It's usually in February. Not sure exactly when. I do have some things to tweak still, and I do have some reasons I have to delay this display tour, and it'll all come clear eventually. Stay tuned for more, but it's definitely coming. Maybe sometime soon, maybe a month. Who knows? We'll see. But there it is. Picked up one of these, did a little hot trade, got the Young Bucks LJN figures. Now, I already have this in my collection, but I have a loose LJN set. I have a loose LJN-inspired Classic Superstar set, and I have a loose AEW LJN-inspired set. So I figured I probably better get these Young Bucks loose, and that's exactly. So I'll probably unbox these on the channel one of these days, so stay tuned for that. A bit of a pricey set right now, where it used to be dirt cheap. It's crazy how things go. This thing was on clearance forever, dirt cheap. Now all of a sudden it's $100 and some figure. It's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. But there's that. We got a few more things this week. You guys know I dabble in Transformers from time to time. Well, my old buddy Perceptor came up. I found him at Target. Had to pick him up. I'm all in on these Studio 86s. That's my wheelhouse. I love the movie. But Transformers, one of the most frustrating lines to collect easily for me. Starts, stops, sizes is all over the place. It's just very frustrating. So you don't know how many times I've bought Transformers, sold Transformers, bought Transformers, sold Transformers. Now I'm in a buying mode with the Studio 86. We'll see what happens. They'll probably switch the scale on me, and then I'll sell them all. Is probably what will happen. I'll get really furious, but we'll see. But Perceptor through the door this week. got to get a deal. I couldn't pass this up. For $4, Ninja Turtle blind bag on clearance, normally 10 bucks. I have an unboxing of this at the Universal Monsters on my Patreon with my dad from a few weeks ago. I don't know when we'll put it on YouTube, but if you're interested in seeing some of this with my dad, and we go through it all and we go egg by egg and decide what's hot garbage and what's not, but we're going to do the same thing here. Who should I unbox this with? How about you guys choose? Do we want Emma? Do I want Elle? Or do I want my wife Angie? Or do I want my dog Lemmy? I guess one of the four. You guys choose who's going to unbox this with me. Is it my older daughter Elle? Is it my younger daughter Emma? Is it my wife Angie? Or is it Lemmy? We'll see. You guys tell me in the comments, and that's what I'll do. We'll put that out there as a little bonus video, so stay tuned for that. Gotta Get a Deal continues, this time with MacReady from The Thing. I love this movie. And I remember when I was in film class back in my college days, we did watch The Thing as an example of kind of horror and special effects of the early 80s and things. It was a great class, let me tell you. One class away from a minor in film, as you guys are fully aware, but 20 bucks, couldn't pass it up for $20. I don't know where I'll exactly put this, but for 20 bucks, gotta get a deal. But how many deals can you afford? That's the question. But I really did like this one from afar, and for 20 bucks, I'm pulling the trigger. Then we got a special gift. Well, not a gift, but he did find it for me. So it is a gift. He saved me a trip, and he found it at his Target. Old David C. Anderson, great friend of the channel, found me the new Mandalorian Grogu 2-pack. Star Wars just frustrating me like crazy as of late, but very cool to get this. And thank you, David, for stumbling across that in Target and thinking about me and knowing, hey, I haven't seen this. Maybe Kyle needs it, and I exactly did. So David Anderson, quite the helper on the channel here. Two final things here in weekly purchases, and it comes from Mattel Basic. We're talking Series 129, first time in the line, Noam Dar, fresh off of Amazon. As you guys know, I'm not upselling. I'm not paying extra for my basics, but 129, Noam Dar, first time in the line. There he is. And then from Series 128 via Amazon as well, MVP, suited MVP. I'm all for this one. A great figure. I wish he had a cane. I'll have to search in my pile of stuff to find a cane for MVP as well. So a big week in weekly purchases. It's kind of a celebration. It is the 2-year anniversary of the channel. And I thank once again all you guys being here for those 2 years. All you guys that like, comment, subscribe. The guys I interact with all the time. Obviously we're all very busy, but it's always means a lot that you guys would take time to watch and pay attention to what I'm doing here as I ramble every single week and ramble in my reviews and stuff. But I hope you guys get some enjoyment out of it, especially in the dark times the last couple of years. It's been very therapeutic for me just to be able to talk to all you guys out there and go over stuff and share any knowledge I may have. And I think some of you guys have enjoyed it over the last 2 years when you've been cooped up at home and stuff like that. So it's been an interesting 2 years. Here's to at least 2 more. How about we do that? But remember the giveaway of the Cody Rhodes. All you got to do is comment on this video with your Instagram, Twitter handles, one or the other, whatever it may be. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, honestly. Obviously, you got to do that. Hit the notification bell while you're at it. But yeah, next week we'll announce the winner of the Cody Rhodes. Man, the Patreon, I know I've been pumping it hard, but it's only 2 weeks old. Got to get the word out, as you guys know. But we got giveaways this month. This is the last week to enter for giveaways. If you want some Jack's Classic Superstars cheaper than eBay, if you're looking for some stuff, I'm posting those on social media as well. But go to Patreon. You get first dibs on that before we go somewhere else with them. So if you're into that, make sure you hit that up. And the giveaways. But then also the bonus video, bonus Q&A video, only going to be for Patreon only. Of course, the pizza reviews, the Lemmy content, all that stuff on Patreon as well. And then all these videos much earlier, sometimes months earlier, is what these will be on the Patreon. You can see the Q&A with my dad this weekend on Patreon. You can see the videos with my wife Angie as we go through the Classic Superstars. Just a lot of content on there. There's just a lot of content everywhere. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like I said, 40 plus strong on the Patreon after 2 weeks. I really appreciate the support. Thanks each and every one of you guys out there. And then, of course, got to get a deal. The brand new t-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. Got to get a deal. It's going to be the new motto of my life. I might get it tattooed on my forehead. But a lot of cool stuff going on. Hope you guys enjoy it all. Sign up for the giveaway. Sign up for the Patreon. Sign up for everything. And hopefully the spring weather gets here for the Midwesterns out there. I'm ready for some summertime fun. I'm ready to get the Jeeps going. Oh, we'll see what happens with all of that. But you guys know what I'm doing. To celebrate 2 years, I'm going out for pizza tonight, of course. You guys know I got to get pizza on a Friday night. But I'm going out for pizza, and then I'm going to be rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. And I'll see you guys all real soon.